In a monkey suit.
Oh, well, it's...
You too. You got one of them.
Well, we were all at the banquet.
Political rally.
No, Tootsie.
In this scene, the placement within the mouth was crucial to creating a shocking visual impact. The way the object is positioned intensifies the scene's tension and surprises viewers with its unexpected boldness. This choice in staging was carefully thought out to evoke strong reactions and highlight the character's intensity or desperation. By placing the object deeply inside the mouth, it amplifies the sense of vulnerability and threat, making the image more memorable and startling. Such a technique demands precise timing and camera work to capture the raw emotion and shock value. The detail works to pull the audience into the moment, making them feel the character's urgency or fear vividly. The scene relies on this placement to deliver its powerful message effectively. The effort to create this shocking image demonstrates the deliberate artistry behind filmmaking choices, especially in scenes meant to leave a lasting impression.
Job to fix him, even if I know how. I'm the night
show
man.
me, please, to my wife's cabin?
In the 1958 movie Touch of Evil, the story begins with Mexican narcotics officer Vargas, who is enjoying his honeymoon when suddenly his peaceful trip is interrupted. A bombing occurs on the border between the United States and Mexico, and Vargas, being dedicated to his work, chooses to delay his return to Mexico City. Instead, he decides to investigate the bombing to find out who is responsible and to bring the perpetrators to justice. As he digs deeper into the case, he finds himself crossing paths with an American police captain named Hank Quinlan, who is quite a different kind of officer. Quinlan is known for his tough methods and has a reputation for being almost too involved in his work. However, Vargas quickly discovers that Quinlan might not be the honest cop he appears to be. The investigation reveals a web of corruption and misconduct, showing that Quinlan could be deeply involved in illegal activities. Vargas's decision to delay his trip and look into the case puts him in danger, but he remains determined to uncover the truth. The story takes a dark turn as Vargas confronts the corruption that exists not only in the police, but also along the border area itself. Throughout the film, themes of morality, justice, and deception are explored as Vargas tries to navigate a complicated world of crime and corruption. The movie builds tension around the border conflict and the blurred lines between right and wrong, making viewers question who can be trusted. As Vargas continues his investigation, the story intensifies and leads to a dramatic climax involving betrayal and moral choices. Ultimately, Touch of Evil uses a gripping plot to show how complicated the fight for justice can be, especially when even the law itself is compromised.
Oh, he got it, huh?
What, Kane?
No, his bad leg.
Who are you talking about?
Captain Quinlan!
While filming the 1958 movie Touch of Evil, the production team chose Venice, California, as the primary filming location. They began shooting scenes there from February 18 to April 2, 1957. The decision to film in Venice was made because the area had a rundown look that matched the film's gritty and tense atmosphere. The team considered Mexico, which could have been an option, but ultimately Venice was selected for its authentic, decayed appearance that suited the movie's needs. The visual style of Touch of Evil was carefully crafted to deepen the mood and tension. The film uses techniques such as deep focus, which keeps objects in the foreground and background sharp and clear at the same time. This allows viewers to see more detail in each scene and adds to the feeling of surveillance and suspicion. The film also employs off-kilter angles and low angles to create a sense of unease and emphasize the power and presence of certain characters, especially Quinlan. The low angles make Quinlan appear larger and more intimidating, underscoring his dominance and ominous nature. These visual choices help bring out the story's dark themes and complex characters, making the film memorable for its style as well as its story. The decision to shoot in Venice and the use of specific camera techniques contributed to the movie's distinctive look and feel, drawing viewers into its tense, foreboding atmosphere. The visual style, combined with the chosen location, made Touch of Evil a film that stands out even today for its innovative cinematography and moody setting.
He was some kind of a man.
Sure, here's the detailed text based on the given summary in the 1958 film Touch of Evil. The opening shot is particularly famous for its long and remarkable crane shot that lasts almost 3.5 minutes. This shot sets the tone for the entire movie and showcases Orson Welles' innovative approach to filmmaking. Interestingly, this notable opening sequence almost did not happen because of a low salary offer made to Janet Leigh, who was initially cast in the role. Her agent rejected the offer, believing it was not enough compensation. Recognizing the importance of this scene and her potential contribution, Wells anticipated she would refuse the offer and personally sent Lee a letter to persuade her to take the role. In the end, Lee decided to accept the part, and Wells' effort to personally reach out proved crucial. The opening scene was tremendously challenging to get right. It took an entire night to perfect because of repeated mistakes made by the actors involved. The complexity of coordinating camera movements, timing, and acting in such a long, continuous shot meant that every detail had to be precise. The scene's difficulty was compounded by the technical demands of the crane shot, which required careful planning and execution. Despite these struggles, the result became an iconic example of film craftsmanship, drawing the audience into the story from the very first moment. The dedication to making this opening sequence a masterpiece reflects the importance of meticulous planning and the impact of Wells' vision on cinema history.
Why not say that for you? Mexican, I mean.
Captain, you won't have any trouble with me.
After watching Touch of Evil from 1958, it becomes clear that Orson Welles put a lot of effort into his appearance for the film. Welles wore extensive makeup, which included prosthetics that made him appear heavier and more rugged, helping him fully embody his character. He enjoyed making this movie because he had a lot of creative freedom, with very little interference from the studio. This allowed him to work without strict rules and to experiment with his ideas. The film had a healthy budget, which meant he could use better equipment, locations, and effects to make the movie look more realistic and exciting. Welles aimed to surprise or even anger the audience by creating a plot that was complex and full of twists. He wanted to make a film that was different from typical Hollywood stories. The plot was similar in style to Howard Hawks' The Big Sleep, a movie known for its confusing story and many hidden meanings. Welles wanted his film to have a similar effect, making viewers think, and maybe even frustrate them a little with the story's twists and mysteries. He enjoyed the process of creating a film that pushed boundaries and challenged viewers' expectations, making Touch of Evil a unique and memorable classic.
The customers go for it. It's so old, it's new. You got the television, too.
In 1958, the movie Touch of Evil became a notable film for several reasons, especially related to Marlene Dietrich's role. She was cast in the film and filmed her scenes in just one day, which was a quick turnaround. This happened because she was doing a favor for Orson Welles, the director of the film. Initially, Welles was hired only to act in the movie, not to direct it. However, there was a misunderstanding that led to him taking on the role of director as well. When the Universal Pictures executives saw the rushes of the film, they discovered Dietrich's role. They did not know she was part of the movie until they saw the footage after filming was done. Her part was kept quiet during production, and her casting was a surprise to many. This story shows how Welles's casting and directorial role changed the film's production and release. Despite the quick filming and the surprise aspect, her appearance added a special element to the movie, which grew in reputation over time. Welles's initial job was only to act, but by a twist of events, he became the director, shaping the film's dark and gritty style. All of this came together to make Touch of Evil a film remembered not just for its story, but also for these unexpected behind-the-scenes details.
Oh?
You're the only guest we got here just now, in the whole place.
Oh, well, as I started to tell you.
Certainly, in 1958, the movie Touch of Evil experienced notable transformation through the influence of Orson Welles, who played a vital role in shaping its final form. Welles made significant changes to the script, altering characters and settings to better fit his artistic vision. These modifications helped craft a darker, more intense story that captured the complex nature of crime and morality. Worried about the impact of these changes, Welles also sought input from all the actors involved, encouraging them to share their ideas before rehearsals began. This collaborative approach led to many dialogue rewrites, which made the characters more realistic and engaging. During rehearsals, the entire cast and crew participated actively, creating a lively and energetic environment. This surge of participation sparked greater creativity and enthusiasm among everyone involved, allowing the actors to explore their roles deeply and bringing a fresh vitality to the production. The combination of script adjustments, actor involvement, and a dynamic rehearsal atmosphere contributed to making Touch of Evil a memorable film, showcasing Welles' unique style and vision. These elements combined to foster a creative environment where ideas flowed freely and each person's contribution helped shape the movie into a distinctive work of cinema that continues to be appreciated by fans and critics alike.
No, it's off the season. Nobody hardly ever comes.
When discussing the 1958 movie Touch of Evil, it is important to highlight Dennis Weaver's distinctive role and how he approached his part. He was encouraged to improvise, which allowed him to create a character that contrasted sharply with his familiar role on Gunsmoke. This improvisation gave his character a unique presence on screen, making scenes more authentic and engaging. Meanwhile, actress Janet Leigh suffered a broken arm before filming began, which sometimes made her difficult to work with, but she persevered through the injury. Additionally, during the filming of the movie, many of the cast members had to hide from the camera or work around their injuries to maintain continuity. A notable scene involved Akim Tamiroff, who had to put a lamb's tongue in his mouth for a particularly grotesque death scene. This gruesome detail added to the dark and sinister tone of the film, heightening the shock value of the scene. Overall, the film's production was marked by these unusual moments and improvisations that contributed to its intense and memorable atmosphere.
If that dynamite had been a snake there in the bathroom, it would have bitten me.
I promised Chief Gould that I'd keep you informed.
Since its release, the 1958 movie Touch of Evil has been a subject of fascination for many film enthusiasts, especially those interested in film history and censorship. Originally, the studio responsible for the film believed that a particular scene involving a lamb's tongue was too gross and might upset or offend audiences. They considered removing or editing this scene to make the film more suitable for general viewing. However, despite their initial thoughts, the scene was not cut from the final version that many viewers have come to see. In fact, when the movie was made available on Amazon Prime streaming, the lamb's tongue scene was included, allowing more fans to experience Orson Welles' vision without censorship. This decision added to the film's reputation for pushing boundaries and challenging traditional standards of decency in movies at the time. If you are a fan of Orson Welles' movies, you will certainly appreciate Touch of Evil because it shows his unique style and mastery of storytelling. His work on this film is often praised for its innovative camera angles, dark atmosphere, and complex characters. Watching this movie gives insight into the creative risks Welles took, even with scenes that the studio initially thought were too shocking. It remains a strong example of how artistic expression sometimes clashes with commercial interests, but in the end, the film's integrity was preserved. Today, viewers can enjoy Touch of Evil in its full form, including scenes that once sparked debate about taste and censorship. Its lasting influence on both cinema and the way films are presented makes it a must-watch for those interested in classic movies and the history behind their production. The film's inclusion on streaming platforms like Amazon Prime ensures that new audiences can see Welles' work as he intended, free from the earlier restrictions. Watching this movie provides not only entertainment, but also a glimpse into the struggles and decisions involved in making a film that challenges societal norms. Many critics consider it one of Welles' best works, and its reputation continues to grow as a pioneering example of film noir. Overall, Touch of Evil remains a testament to creative freedom and the importance of artistic vision, despite the initial fears about provocative scenes such as the lamb's tongue. Its availability in uncut form allows viewers to experience the full depth of Welles' artistic risk-taking and storytelling prowess. Whether you're a fan of classic cinema or just looking for a compelling story with historical significance, this film offers a rich and fascinating experience that endures through time. Fans appreciate how it captures the mood and style of late 1950s filmmaking while still pushing boundaries and questioning cultural norms. The film's boldness and Welles' distinctive touch continue to inspire filmmakers and audiences to this day.
I wasn't breaking no laws. I was just... I don't even know these people.
You know Vargas, don't you?
Touch of Evil, the 1958 film directed by Orson Welles, stands as a monumental masterpiece in the history of cinema, particularly within the film noir genre. The film is celebrated for its striking cinematography, innovative camera work, and memorable score by Henry Mancini, which together create a visceral and immersive atmosphere that still resonates with audiences today. Many reviews highlight the film's technical achievements, emphasizing how Welles' visionary direction elevates what might otherwise be considered straightforward pulp entertainment into a work of art. The iconic opening shot, one of the most famous in film history, exemplifies Welles' mastery of visual storytelling and remains a landmark in cinematic history. The film's narrative revolves around the tangled web of corruption, morality, and deception in a small border town, featuring Hank Quinlan, a corrupt and sleazy cop played compellingly by Wells himself. The casting of Charlton Heston as the inexperienced narc, and Janet Leigh as his wife adds depth and nuance to the story, with performances that, while varied in critical reception, generally contribute to the film's tension and realism. The gritty authenticity of the sets, combined with Russell Meddy's exceptional cinematography, immerses viewers into a dark world filled with suspense and moral ambiguity. However, despite its many accolades, Touch of Evil has encountered some criticism over the years. One of the most notable issues discussed among fans and critics is the existence of different versions of the film. The so-called producer's cut or nasty version includes Henry Mancini's full, intended score, which many consider integral to the film's mood, whereas the restored version sometimes features only a snippet of the music, detracting from its intended atmosphere. Some feel that the original 112-minute director's cut is superior to the more truncated or altered versions, as it preserves Wells's narrative pacing and thematic intentions more faithfully. There is a call for a comprehensive release, akin to the Criterion Collection, offering both versions for viewers to appreciate the full scope of Wells's vision. Critically, the film is also praised for its technical brilliance, with particular admiration for its suspenseful camera work and editing techniques, which contribute to the film's tense and claustrophobic atmosphere. The film's sound design and music, particularly Mancini's score, are also highlighted as essential components that heighten the emotional intensity. Nonetheless, some reviewers point out that certain dialogues and plot elements can feel somewhat contrived or not entirely coherent, which may detract from the overall clarity of the story. Such criticisms tend to be overshadowed by the film's visual and stylistic achievements, but they do serve as reminders that Touch of Evil is a complex work that balances artistic experimentation with narrative accessibility. Overall, Touch of Evil is regarded as one of the greatest films in the noir genre and a definitive example of Wells's unique talent. Its blend of poetic cinematography, atmospheric sound design, and layered storytelling continues to influence filmmakers and cinephiles alike. The ongoing debate about the different versions of the film underscores its fragile history and the importance of preserving Wells's original vision. Whether watched in its full-length director's cut or in a restored edition, Touch of Evil remains a compelling, inspiring, and technically groundbreaking film that exemplifies the power of cinematic artistry. Its status as a seminal classic is well earned, and it remains a must-see for anyone interested in the art of filmmaking.
You know what marijuana is, don't you?
As we wrap up our exploration of Touch of Evil, there's one more chapter waiting to be uncovered. Behind the gripping scenes and powerful performances lies a story of the cast that is as compelling as the film itself. In our bonus segment, we'll dive into where these actors are today, revealing unexpected turnabouts, remarkable successes, and some surprises that kept fans guessing long after the credits rolled. From the rising stars to those who faced unforeseen challenges, this inside look offers a deeper connection to the movie's legacy. Stay with us as we uncover the hidden stories behind the faces you saw on screen, making the film's impact even more unforgettable. Prepare to be intrigued by the lives that followed, and the unexpected paths taken by the cast of Touch of Evil.
I'm an American citizen. Now listen, Vic was arrested in Mexico City, Captain. Vargas is gonna...
Mercedes McCambridge portrayed the formidable gang leader in the 1958 film Touch of Evil, a role that revealed her talent for embodying dark, complex female characters. Her character exuded menace, power, and a sense of menace, capturing the audience with her commanding presence. McCambridge's performance was intense and unsettling, reflecting her ability to portray women with hidden depths of cruelty and resilience. Beyond the screen, her life was marked by a series of personal hardships and controversies. She struggled with alcoholism for much of her life, which affected her career and personal relationships. Her battles with addiction were well known and kept her in the public eye, not always for her acting skills but for her tumultuous life. McCambridge faced scandals, including controversial remarks and actions that often cast her in a darker light, reflecting her troubled inner world. She experienced financial difficulties and health issues in her later years, which further overshadowed her career achievements. The last known details about her life indicate she retired from acting in the late 1970s and withdrew from the public eye until her death in 2004. Her complex personality and tumultuous life remain a fascinating, shadowy chapter in Hollywood history.
Was arrested in Mexico City, Captain. Vargas is gonna testify at his trial Thursday.
Janet Leigh portrayed Susan Vargas in the 1958 film Touch of Evil, a role that showcased her ability to embody complex, layered characters with a quiet intensity. Vargas was a pivotal character caught in a dark web of corruption and moral ambiguity, requiring Leigh to bring a mixture of vulnerability and resilience. Her performance added depth to the film's tense atmosphere, demonstrating her talent for dramatic roles beyond her Hollywood fame. Leigh's career was marked by her natural beauty and acting skill, which made her a sought-after star during the 1950s. Outside of her film work, Leigh faced personal hardships, including the tragic loss of her daughter, Kelly, in 2008, which deeply affected her family. Her marriage to actor Tony Curtis, which lasted over 3 decades, was often scrutinized by the press, fueling rumors of infidelity and internal strife that overshadowed their professional collaborations. Leigh's life was also marred by brief scandals, such as her 1950 affair with actor Robert Mitchum that briefly stirred controversy. Despite these struggles, she maintained a reputation for professionalism and resilience amidst the dark allure of Hollywood scandals. The last known information about Leigh indicates she retired from acting later in life, focusing on her family and personal wellness. Her enduring legacy remains rooted in her Hollywood contributions and her vivid portrayal of complex characters etched into the annals of classic cinema.
Existence of that evidence.
What are you trying to do? Wreck him?
Here?
In the 1958 film Touch of Evil, Eva Gabor appears briefly as a role known as the stripper sitting at bar, a fleeting yet memorable moment that hints at her provocative screen presence. Her character embodies a sense of allure and mystery, fitting into the dark, gritty atmosphere of the movie. Although her appearance is short, it highlights her versatility as an actress capable of capturing complex moods in limited screen time. Beyond her brief role in the film, Eva Gabor's career was marked by success in television and film, especially known for her charming comedic roles and her distinctive Hungarian accent. However, her life was not without hardship. She faced intense familial rivalry, especially with her sister Zsa Gabor, who was more famous and often overshadowed Eva's achievements. Her personal life was marred by scandals and health issues, including battles with depression and substance abuse that sometimes overshadowed her career. She also endured the difficulties of aging in a demanding Hollywood environment, which affected her mental and emotional well-being. In her later years, Gabor withdrew from public life, and her health sharply declined. The last known information indicates that Eva Gabor passed away in 1995, leaving behind a legacy of charm, resilience, and a mysterious aura shaped by her tumultuous personal journey. Her brief appearance in Touch of Evil remains a reminder of her enigmatic presence that lingered beyond the screen.
Is that all you have to say for him?
He was some kind of a man.
In the 1958 film Touch of Evil, Zsa Gabor played the role of a provocative strip club owner, a character that seemed to embody the glamour and darkness of the criminal underworld. Her portrayal was brief but memorable, encapsulating her persona as a woman who wielded power behind the scenes, blending sensuality with a sense of ominous control. This role marked her only appearance in a major film that delved into crime and moral ambiguity, a stark departure from her usual glamorous image. Outside of her acting, Gabor's life was rife with scandal and hardship. She was notorious for her flamboyant lifestyle, numerous marriages, and legal troubles that haunted her throughout her life. She faced allegations of theft and prostitution, which tarnished her reputation despite her fame as a beauty icon and socialite. Her marriage to actor George Sanders ended amid allegations of violence and infidelity, casting a shadow over her personal life. Gabor also struggled with health issues and financial problems, often facing bankruptcy despite her wealth. Her later years were marked by dwindling fame, legal battles, and numerous stays in hospitals due to health complications. The most recent reports indicate she faced ongoing health challenges until her death in 2016, leaving behind a legacy of beauty, controversy, and resilience. Her tumultuous life reflected the darker side of Hollywood glamour, a story punctuated by scandal and perseverance.
Your natural prejudice in mind.
I saw that shoebox 10 minutes ago,
Yeah.
Captain.
Marlene Dietrich's role as Tanya in the 1958 film Touch of Evil marked her return to the Hollywood screen after years away from mainstream cinema. Her character embodied a mysterious, seductive presence that added a dark and complex layer to the film's tension. Dietrich's portrayal was subtle yet impactful, emphasizing her allure and international star power. Her career spanned over 3 decades, beginning in the 1920s, when she gained fame as a glamorous and daring actress and singer. Throughout her life, Dietrich faced personal hardships, including scandals surrounding her relationships with both men and women, which challenged her public image. She was often accused of moral ambiguity, a reputation she navigated with secrecy and defiance. Later in life, her reputation was marred by rumors of political espionage, especially during the Cold War, when her outspoken political views and associations with controversial figures drew suspicion. Her health declined markedly in her 70s, and she withdrew from public life. Dietrich's last years were marked by privacy and reflection, living quietly in Paris, away from the Hollywood spotlight she once commanded. Despite the scandals and hardships, her influence persisted as one of the most iconic and enigmatic figures of the golden age of cinema. Recent reports suggest she passed away in 1992, leaving behind a legacy shrouded in mystery, glamour, and resilience.
You can leave it here.
Where, here? In the middle of nowhere?
Joseph Kalea's portrayal of Police Sergeant Pete Menzies in the 1958 film Touch of Evil remains one of his most memorable roles, marked by a quiet yet intense presence that added layers of complexity to the story. Kalea embodied Menzies as a principled, often conflicted officer caught between morality and the corrupt influences of the city he served. His performance conveyed a sense of quiet resilience, hinting at the personal sacrifices and moral struggles faced by those who uphold the law amidst chaos and corruption. The role highlighted Kalea's ability to bring depth and subtlety to a supporting character, making his presence essential despite limited screen time. Outside the screen, Joseph Kalea's life was filled with interesting and darker moments. Born in Malta in 1897, his early years saw him navigating a world of hardship, which shaped the man he would become. His career spanned stage and film, but he encountered constant struggle against typecasting and racial stereotypes that often limited roles for actors of Mediterranean descent. Rumors circulated about personal scandals, including allegations of gambling and associations with organized crime figures, though concrete evidence remains elusive. These incidents cast shadows over his reputation, but did not entirely obscure his talent. His life was also marked by personal hardships, including financial difficulties and health problems in later years. In the years after his last performances, Kalea withdrew from the Hollywood limelight. Little is known about his final days, as he largely faded into private life. Reports suggest he faced declining health and possible financial struggles during his later years. The last confirmed information places him living quietly in the United States, away from public view. His death occurred in 1975, but details surrounding the end of his life remain sparse and shrouded in mystery. Today, Kalea is remembered for his distinctive contributions to film noir and his portrayal of characters burdened with moral ambiguity. His legacy endures as a figure who embodied resilience amidst adversity, leaving a dark, compelling footprint behind.
That was the last killer I ever got out of my hands.
Where are you going now?
Akim Tamiroff's portrayal of Uncle Joe Grandi in the 1958 film Touch of Evil presents a complex, shadowed figure whose quiet menace and subtle manipulation add layers to the story's tension. Tamiroff's role captures the dark underbelly of corruption and moral ambiguity, embodying a character haunted by past deeds and secrets. His performance is marked by a stoic demeanor that hides inner turmoil, reflecting the era's underworld grime. Beyond the screen, Tamiroff's life was filled with hardship and controversy. Born in Estonia and raised in Russia, he faced exile after the Bolshevik Revolution, which set him on a path marked by constant upheaval. He struggled with political oppression, leading to a controversial escape attempt from Soviet territory. His journey was punctuated by periods of artistic success, yet marred by personal scandals, including accusations of gambling addiction and conflicts with Hollywood producers. Rumors of strained relationships and health issues, such as chronic illness, plagued his later years. Despite his talent, Tamiroff often found himself on the fringes of stardom, battling both external demons and internal despair. His final years were marked by fading fame and financial difficulties. The last known details suggest he remained a mysterious figure reclusive, and haunted. Tamiroff's legacy endures as a symbol of resilience amid adversity, his shadowy life mirroring the dark characters he portrayed.
What's my fortune?
In the 1958 film Touch of Evil, Dennis Weaver portrayed the role of the Mirador Motel night manager, a minor character that added a subtle layer of tension to the story's dark atmosphere. His role was largely unassuming, yet his presence contributed to the film's sinister tone by embodying the silent observer, a figure lurking in the shadows and witnessing events unfold with quiet dread. Weaver's performance, though small, captured the essence of a man haunted by unspoken fears, aligning with the film's themes of corruption and moral decay. Beyond his brief appearance in Touch of Evil, Weaver's career extended into television and film, but his personal life was marked by darker turns. Known for his grounded persona, Weaver faced hardships, including allegations of cheating and scandal that circulated early in his career, threatening his reputation. He experienced emotional struggles and battled the pressures of Hollywood fame, which often cast shadows over his professional achievements. In later years, Weaver became an outspoken advocate for social causes, yet he also faced personal tragedies including the death of loved ones. His final years were marked by a quieter existence, rarely in the spotlight, hinting at a life riddled with unresolved pain. Recently, no new information has come to light about Weaver, and his whereabouts remain private. Despite the mystery surrounding his later life, his early career, marked by roles like the Mirador Motel night manager, remains an intriguing chapter in Hollywood history.
Bro. It was...
Charlton Heston's portrayal of Mike Vargas in the 1958 film Touch of Evil marked a defining moment in his career, showcasing his ability to embody complex, morally conflicted characters. Vargas is a principal police officer caught in a web of corruption and violence along the U.S.-Mexico border, a role that demanded a mix of stoicism, intelligence, and underlying vulnerability. Heston's commanding presence and intense performance brought a sense of gravitas to the character, making Vargas a symbol of integrity amid chaos. Beyond the film, Heston's life was marred by personal and public struggles. He faced criticism for his conservative political views, which alienated many fans, his outspoken stance against gun control, and his involvement with the National Rifle Association created controversy, especially during times of social upheaval. In his later years, Heston endured personal hardships, including the loss of his daughter, and his battle with Alzheimer's disease, which he publicly revealed in 2002, raising awareness for the illness. His involvement in the civil rights movement earlier in his life contrasted sharply with his later political views, revealing a complex figure shaped by conflicting ideals. The last known information indicates that Heston passed away in 2008, leaving behind a legacy as a talented actor and a controversial, enigmatic figure whose life was a blend of artistic brilliance and personal turmoil.
Afternoon, cabin number 7.
Keenan Wynn's role as the bartender in the 1958 film Touch of Evil was a small but significant part of the story, capturing the seedy underbelly of the border town. His character was silent, yet his presence added a layer of tension and realism to the film's gritty atmosphere. Wynn's portrayal was understated but memorable, embodying the noir style with subtle gestures and intense, watchful eyes. This role reflected Wynn's ability to convey deep emotion without words, a skill he honed through a career marked by a wide range of character parts. Off-screen, Wynn's life was marked by personal hardships and darker episodes. He struggled with substance abuse and faced challenges in maintaining stable relationships. His reputation was shadowed by rumors of jealousy and conflicts within Hollywood, fueled by his intense personality. Wynn's family life was tumultuous, with reports of estrangement from some relatives and struggles with sobriety. Despite a prolific career, Wynn faced periods of financial difficulty and career downturns, often attributed to the changing tastes of Hollywood or his own volatile temper. The last known details of his life suggest he withdrew from the public eye later in his years, living a reclusive existence. His death left behind a complex legacy, one of talent and struggle intertwined. No further major incidents have been publicly reported since his passing, leaving his life a quiet mystery wrapped in the shadows of Hollywood's golden age.
The Vice Squad. Quinlan, you better...
Joy Lansing's role as Zita in the 1958 film Touch of Evil was a brief, but notable appearance that embodied her screen presence, mysterious, alluring, and layered with undercurrents of darkness. Though her part was small, she left an impression with her striking looks and enigmatic aura, fitting the film's tone of corruption and moral ambiguity. After her film career waned, Lansing's life spiraled into personal hardship and scandal. She struggled with mental health issues, including depression, which was compounded by her tumultuous relationships and the pressures of Hollywood. Rumors circulated about her being involved in questionable affairs, fueling an image of scandal that followed her in the public eye. She faced financial difficulties later in life, often trying to reinvent herself in television and stage work, but never regaining the prominence of her earlier years. Her personal life was marred by tragedy, including her untimely death in 1972, officially attributed to cancer, though some speculate other factors. The last known details suggest she remains a figure shrouded in mystery, her brief flashes of fame overshadowed by personal battles and the dark shadows that haunted her life. Her story reflects the darker side of Hollywood's golden age, marked by beauty, turmoil, and untold suffering.
Same thing.
Ray Collins portrayed District Attorney Adair in the 1958 film Touch of Evil, embodying a figure of authority with subtle complexity. His role was that of a man caught between justice and corruption, highlighting the dark underbelly of law enforcement. Collins' performance was marked by a commanding presence and a haunted quality that lent a sinister edge to the character. Beyond his work in Touch of Evil, Collins' career was notable but marred by personal struggles. His life was riddled with difficulties, including troubles with alcoholism that affected both his personal and professional spheres. Rumors circulated of behind-the-scenes conflicts, including clashes with directors and colleagues, which cast shadows over his career. Collins' life was also touched by scandals, some of which involved allegations of misconduct, though details remain murky, fueling speculation about the challenges he faced. His later years were overshadowed by health issues and financial problems, leading to a decline in prominence. The last publicly available information indicates that Collins retired from acting in the early 1960s, facing a slow withdrawal from the industry. His death in 1965 marked the end of a career intertwined with intrigue and personal hardship. Despite his troubled past, Collins left a lasting impression through his compelling performances, especially in roles that explored the darker facets of human nature. His enigmatic life continues to intrigue viewers and historians alike, blending talent with tragedy in a story that remains partly shrouded in mystery.
Quinlan wants you to go with him. I'll be glad to drop your wife at the motel.
Oh, really?
No trouble at all, ma'am.
Joanna Moore portrayed Marcia Lineker in the 1958 film Touch of Evil, a role that placed her in a dark, complex narrative of deception and moral ambiguity. Her character embodied a woman entangled in a web of corruption, and her performance was marked by subtlety and emotional depth that hinted at the turmoil beneath her composed exterior. Moore's presence in the film added a layer of mystery and vulnerability, capturing the attention of critics and audiences alike. After Touch of Evil, Moore's career saw moments of promise, but was marred by personal struggles and scandal. She was often linked to Hollywood's darker side, battling substance abuse and unstable relationships that overshadowed her talent. Her life was riddled with hardships, including financial difficulties and public divorces, which reflected the toll her personal issues took on her career. Moore's marriage to actor Ryan O'Neal was notably tumultuous, contributing to her reputation as a tragic figure in Hollywood. The most painful chapter of her life involved her long-term battle with addiction, which led to periods of legal troubles and health decline. Despite her struggles, she continued to seek work in smaller roles, yet she remained elusive from the limelight, often overshadowed by her personal demons. The last known details suggest she faced declining health and fading fame, ultimately living apart from the Hollywood scene she once sought to conquer. Today, her story stands as a stark reminder of the price of fame and the hidden battles behind a glamorous facade.
I just wanted to tell you, I'm awfully tired. Excuse me, this is Mrs.
Orson Welles' portrayal of Police Captain Hank Quinlan in the 1958 film Touch of Evil remains one of his most haunting performances. As Quinlan, Welles embodied corruption, moral decay, and the tragic downfall of a once respected officer. His character's shrouded morality and physical deformity created an unsettling presence, blending menace with pity. Wells infused Quinlan with a dark, complex humanity that elevated the film's noir atmosphere and showcased his talent not just as an actor, but as a master of mood and tone. This role solidified Wells's reputation as a visionary artist willing to explore the darker sides of human nature, blending film noir conventions with his own unique style. Beyond the screen, Wells' life was marred by controversy and personal hardship. He faced increasing Hollywood opposition, censorship, and accusations of arrogance, which alienated many colleagues and studios. His refusal to conform to industry norms led to funding difficulties, forcing him to work on independent projects with limited resources. Wells also struggled with financial instability due to his unconventional methods and disputes over rights to his work. His health declined over the years, and he became increasingly reclusive, with rumors of alcohol dependency and depression. His earlier career was marked by scandals, including conflicts with Hollywood moguls and critics who doubted his talents, often dismissing him as overly ambitious or difficult lieutenant. Despite this, Wells remained committed to artistic independence. The last known information about Orson Welles indicates he continued working sporadically in film and radio during his final years, often under financial strain. He completed a few projects, but none matched the success of his earlier works. Wells died on October 10, 1985, at the age of 70, in Los Angeles from a heart attack. His legacy endures through his innovative style and the profound influence he left on cinema. His life, filled with brilliance and hardship, stands as a testament to the troubled genius behind iconic roles and groundbreaking films.
I found it in the hotel room. Yeah.
Joseph Cotten portrayed the coroner in the 1958 film Touch of Evil, a role that embodied quiet authority and subtle menace. His character's calm, observant presence underscored the film's dark tone, hinting at deeper corruption beneath the surface. Cotton's performance added a layer of gravitas, amplifying the film's gritty atmosphere. Outside the screen, Cotton's life was marked by complex personal battles and notable tragedies. A highly acclaimed actor known for his work with Orson Welles and Alfred Hitchcock, Cotton faced hardships that extended beyond the industry. During his career, he grappled with the decline of Hollywood's studio system, which affected his roles and fame. His personal life was shadowed by certain scandals and a sense of unfulfilled potential, often grappling with feelings of obsolescence in a rapidly changing entertainment world. Rumors circulated about strained relationships and financial difficulties in later years, though specifics remain murky. In his later life, Cotton withdrew from Hollywood, and little is known about his final years. The last confirmed information indicates he passed away in 1994, leaving behind a legacy of compelling performances and a life touched by both fame and hardship. His story endures as a reminder of the darker corners behind a bright Hollywood facade. Touch of Evil, released in 1958, remains a classic of film noir and Orson Welles' most acclaimed work. Its groundbreaking cinematography and intricate storytelling set new standards for crime dramas. The film's powerful opening scene, filmed on location in Los Angeles, is still studied for its innovative use of long takes and deep focus. Wells's performance as the corrupt police officer remains iconic, and the complex characters and moral ambiguity reflect real societal issues of the time. The film faced challenges with censorship and editing, especially as Wells's original cut was altered, which affected its initial reception but gained recognition over the years. Many actors faced struggles afterward. Some tried to navigate Hollywood's changing landscape, while others found new paths outside major film projects. Despite these difficulties, Touch of Evil's influence persists, inspiring countless filmmakers and fans worldwide. It stands as a testament to the power of bold storytelling and technical mastery, leaving a lasting legacy in cinema history. Did you watch this film during your childhood? Do certain scenes or characters stick with you? Feel free to share your memories and stories in the comments below. We love hearing how movies like Touch of Evil continue to impact viewers across generations.
Lawyer cares about is the law.
Captain, you are a policeman, aren't you?
Aren't you? You don't